Morocco sits at one of the most important crossroads on the planet. It faces the Atlantic Ocean to the west, the Mediterranean Sea to the north, and lies only a short distance from Europe across the Strait of Gibraltar. To the east is Algeria, while to the south lies Western Sahara, a territory whose status remains one of the most sensitive political questions in the region. This geography has shaped Morocco for centuries. It made the country a meeting point for African, Arab, Berber, European, and Atlantic influences. It also made Morocco strategically valuable to empires, traders, migrants, and modern states. Morocco is not simply a tourist destination of deserts, markets, and old cities. It is a kingdom with deep historical continuity, a complex identity, and a political role that reaches far beyond its borders. The land that is now Morocco has been inhabited for an extraordinarily long time. Archaeological evidence places humans in this region hundreds of thousands of years ago, long before modern states, borders, or dynasties existed. This matters because Morocco's history did not begin with Arab expansion, European colonialism, or even the medieval Islamic kingdoms. Its deeper foundation is North African and Amazigh, often called Berber, with communities adapted to mountains, coasts, plains, and desert edges. Over time, these populations became part of wider trade and cultural networks stretching across the Sahara, the Mediterranean, and the Middle East. Morocco's identity was built through layers, not replacement. Indigenous North African roots remained central, while later Islamic, Arabic, Andalusian, African, and European influences added new dimensions to language, religion, architecture, government, and culture. The Moroccan state traces its origins to the Idrisid dynasty, founded by Idris I in the late 8th century. This is why Morocco is often described as one of the world's oldest continuously existing states. The Idrisids helped establish an Islamic political center in the region and strengthened the connection between religion, rulership, and legitimacy. That connection would remain important throughout Moroccan history. Unlike some neighboring regions that were later absorbed into large outside empires, Morocco developed a tradition of independent dynastic rule. The state changed hands many times, but the idea of a Moroccan political order endured. This long continuity helps explain why monarchy still plays such a central role today. In Morocco, kingship is not only a government office. It is tied to historical memory, religious authority, and national identity. Morocco reached one of its greatest periods of power under the Almoravid and Almohad dynasties in the 11th and 12th centuries. These were Berber-led kingdoms that expanded across much of the Maghreb and into the Iberian Peninsula. At their height, Moroccan-centered powers influenced lands on both sides of the Strait of Gibraltar, linking North Africa and Southern Europe in one political and cultural sphere. This era left a lasting mark on architecture, scholarship, trade, and urban life. Cities became centers of learning and administration, while routes across the Sahara connected Morocco to West African gold, salt, and ideas. The importance of these dynasties is not only that they controlled territory. They show Morocco as an active regional power, not a passive frontier between Europe and Africa. By the 15th and 16th centuries, Morocco faced serious pressure from outside powers. Portugal seized coastal positions, while the Ottoman Empire expanded across much of North Africa from the east. Yet Morocco became unusual in the region because it resisted full Ottoman domination. The Marinid and Saadi dynasties struggled with internal and external threats, but they preserved Moroccan sovereignty in a period when many neighboring territories were absorbed into larger imperial systems. The Saadi dynasty also projected power southward, including into the Songhai Empire in West Africa. These events reveal a recurring Moroccan pattern, defending independence while using geography to engage in diplomacy, trade, and military strategy. Morocco's position was dangerous, but it also created opportunities. Whoever controlled Moroccan ports, passes, and routes could influence Mediterranean, Atlantic, and Saharan worlds. The Alawi dynasty came to power in the 17th century and still rules Morocco today, making it one of the oldest reigning royal dynasties in the world. Under Alawi rule, Morocco expanded diplomatic and commercial relations with European powers and the wider Atlantic world. This was a period of negotiation as much as conflict. Morocco had to manage European ambitions, internal tribes and cities, maritime trade, and the authority of the Sultan. The monarchy's survival over centuries gave it a unique claim to continuity. Even when the state was weak, the dynasty remained a symbol around which political order could be rebuilt. This history helps explain why the modern Moroccan king holds a role that combines head of state, commander, religious authority, and guardian of national unity. European pressure intensified in the 19th and early 20th centuries because Morocco's location near the entrance to the Mediterranean became increasingly valuable. In 1912, France and Spain established protectorates over Morocco, while Tangier became an international zone. The Sultan remained the formal sovereign, but real power was heavily limited under colonial administration. This arrangement created a complicated colonial map rather than a single unified occupation. French and Spanish zones developed differently, and Tangier became a symbol of international rivalry. Colonial rule transformed infrastructure, administration, land ownership, and political resistance. It also sharpened nationalist demands. Moroccans did not simply accept foreign control. Riots, revolts, organizing, and diplomacy gradually built momentum toward independence. In 1956, under Sultan Muhammad V, Morocco regained independence and reunified much of its territory. After independence, Morocco became one of the more stable states in North Africa, but stability did not mean simple democracy. The country developed as a unitary semi-constitutional monarchy with an elected parliament, a prime minister, and formal institutions such as a constitutional court. However, the king retains extensive authority, especially over the military, foreign policy, religious affairs, and major political decisions. He can issue decrees with the force of law and has the power to dissolve parliament under constitutional procedures. This creates a political system that combines electoral politics with strong monarchical authority. Morocco is often classified as a hybrid regime, not a full liberal democracy, but not a purely closed dictatorship either. Its political structure is best understood as a carefully balanced system where royal power remains the central pillar. Morocco's society is shaped by religion, language, and cultural blending. Islam is the official and predominant religion, and the king holds the title of Commander of the Faithful, reinforcing the link between monarchy and religious legitimacy. Arabic and Amazigh are official languages, while Darija, the Moroccan Arabic dialect, is widely spoken in daily life. French remains influential in business, administration, and education because of the colonial legacy. Spanish also has regional importance in the north. This linguistic mix reflects Morocco's layered history. Culturally, the country brings together Amazigh traditions, Arab Islamic identity, Andalusian influences from Muslim Spain, African connections across the Sahara, and European contact along the coast. Morocco's architecture, music, food, and social customs all reveal this blend. Its identity is plural, but not random. It is the result of geography and history meeting over centuries. Economically, Morocco has become one of Africa's most significant countries. It has the fifth largest economy on the continent and is often described as Africa's leading industrial economy. Its strengths include manufacturing, agriculture, phosphates, tourism, renewable energy, logistics, and growing links to European and African markets. Casablanca is the largest city and the country's commercial powerhouse, while Rabat is the political capital. Morocco's development strategy has often focused on positioning itself as a bridge between Europe and Africa, between Atlantic trade and Mediterranean access, and between Arab and African institutions. The country is a member of organizations such as the Arab League, the Union for the Mediterranean, and the African Union. This institutional reach supports Morocco's image as a middle power, able to influence regional diplomacy beyond its size. The most unresolved and controversial issue connected to Morocco is Western Sahara. Morocco claims the territory and refers to it as its southern provinces. The dispute intensified after Spain moved to decolonize the territory in 1975. Morocco and Mauritania asserted claims, while the Polisario Front, representing Sahrawi independence aspirations, fought for self-determination. Mauritania later withdrew its claim, but Morocco continued to control most of the territory. A ceasefire was reached in 1991, yet a final political settlement has remained elusive. Today, Morocco occupies about two-thirds of Western Sahara, while the sovereignty question remains unresolved internationally. For Morocco, the issue is central to national unity and territorial integrity. For critics and independence supporters, it remains a question of decolonization and the rights of the local Sahrawi population. Morocco's importance comes from the way all these elements connect. It is an ancient North African society with deep Amazigh roots, an Islamic kingdom with one of the world's oldest ruling dynasties, a former colonial territory that regained independence, and a modern state trying to balance monarchy, elections, economic ambition, and regional influence. Its culture is neither purely Arab, purely African, nor purely Mediterranean, but a fusion created by movement, trade, conquest, resistance, and adaptation. Its strategic location still matters as much today as it did centuries ago. Morocco faces Europe, belongs to Africa, speaks to the Arab world, and looks across the Atlantic. To understand Morocco is to understand a country built at a crossroads, where geography shaped history, and history still shapes power. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more explainers.